Everyone's idea of a pet means having a fluffy cat or a loving dog, most of the time. However, some people need more than that. They prefer something wild and exotic. If you want to see some of the wackiest pets connect with their owners, keep watching as
when you have the skin and everything showing through.
Melanie was instantly smitten by Gary the capybara. Gary took some time to acclimate to his new surroundings, but eventually warmed up and now appreciates his mama's love. Capybaras make excellent companions, even better than most humans. They are intelligent and sensitive to a greater extent than most people. How could a rodent the size of a 60-pound hamster even exist, let alone heed directions to sit, shake, stand on its hind legs, and leap over a hurdle? Melanie, who has become an expert on the species, which are endemic to South America, is the person who knows the answer. Gary is a herd animal, and he hangs out with a guinea pig that was around the same size as he was when they first met. It's very cute to see them nuzzling up to each other on a window seat now, despite their different sizes. This woman has 2 capybaras in her home, and as you can see in the video, she enjoys hanging out with them and holding them in her arms while relaxing in bed with them. When one of them kisses her, you can see how affectionate it is. It's like having a dog in your house that looks like a gigantic rat. In the United States, exotic domestic pets are becoming increasingly popular. Chico the capybara is allowed to sleep on Jackie Wren's bed, eat popcorn with her while watching TV, and even jump in the pool with her grandchildren. The Thivolons have been caring for Digit the gorilla for more than a decade, but having a primate at home presents some unexpected obstacles. Digit, as she is known, has shared a room with Pierre and Elaine Thrivelin for nearly 13 years. The couple, who owned the zoo in St. Martin-la-Plaine where she was born, first took the infant monkey in 1999. Pamela, Digit's mother, had previously refused to feed her 3 days after she was born. The Thrivelins took her in and bottle fed her throughout the day before returning her to enclosure at night. The little gorilla had formed a close attachment with her foster parents by the age of 18 months, after she needed 24-hour care due to an illness. Pierre and Elaine took her into her bedroom at night, and she has slept there ever since. The trio has overcome language barriers to communicate with one another. Caring for an adolescent gorilla requires more sacrifices than caring for a child. Because it's difficult to locate a suitable babysitter, the couple have stayed with Digit every single night since she was born. For several years, they have attempted to reintegrate Digit with her gorilla family, and she has made considerable progress, getting along well with her brother. Meanwhile, Pierre is supporting his charge by building a vast 3,000 cubic meter enclosure for her to share with her brother and to have sisters to help her get used to her real family. Number 13. Cheetah. Parents Hein and Kim Schumann allow 2 cheetahs to play with their child on a regular basis since the youngsters have formed an unusual bond with the wild cats. Kayla, 1 year old, and Milan, 3 years old, treat the cheetahs in their South African home as if they were ordinary house cats. The cheetahs are never excluded from family activities such as cuddling with the toddlers, traveling in the car with the family, or freely wandering around the house. For some, it may appear to be a dangerous way of life, but for the Schumanns, who are skilled animal trainers that live and work on a reserve, it's an opportunity to show how people and wild animals can coexist. It all boils down to how humans and their surroundings can live in harmony and enjoy one another. The 2 cheetahs were born around a year ago at an animal reserve in South Africa. The couple was worried that the mother cheetah wouldn't be able to look after all 4 cubs. Because the 2 cheetahs were not getting enough milk and nourishment, the Schumanns were concerned that they might not survive. That's when they stepped in and adopted the cubs, making them part of their family. Even though cheetahs are amiable animals, experts advise against doing this at home, despite the fact that it makes a great Facebook photo. Cheetahs, the fastest land mammal on the planet, were formerly kept as pets by ancient Egyptian pharaohs. The Schumanns are treating the 2 cheetahs to hunt, so they can one day leave the house and wander into the wild. Number 12. Bison. By adopting a pet bison and allowing it to wander freely, a Texas couple has turned their ranch into a miniature version of the Great Plains. The 11-year-old beast, Wild Thing, has its own quarters. Ron Bridges considers him to be a house pet, so I think I'll go get a blue whale for my new aquarium. Anyhow, I digress. The bison may be a brawler outside, but within the house, he is a gentleman. Bridges and his wife, Sharon, 44, adopted the 2,500-pound bison when it was a baby after selling their herd of 52 bison in 2004 to pay for medical bills. Wild Thing enjoys watching action movies in his room. He also eats his breakfast at the kitchen table. The Bridges say that he has nearly killed them due to his sheer size. Some people are nuts. A buffalo as a pet, especially one with his own room, is totally off the wall. But Ronnie and Sharon adore him. It took 10 years for the wild creature to tone down. They claim that approaching him and petting him is dangerous. In this next video, we meet Bailey D. Buffalo Jr., the second buffalo raised by Jim Sautner and his wife Linda, which is now a member of the Sautner family. Bailey Jr. drives the Sautner's custom Pontiac Parisian convertible, and when necessary, sucks on Jim's thumb. Some people require out-of-the-ordinary interest to be happy, and I guess this is one of them. Don't ask me why, because I really don't know. Number 11. Hyena. The Nigerian mysterious hyena men scurry from place to place, making it difficult to track them down. They come in cities surrounded by rock pythons and cobras, as well as trained hyenas and trained monkeys performing somersaults. They're a mysterious brotherly band, a colorful cast of performers who also happens to be doctors. They put on exhibitions with dangerous creatures like hyenas to attract spectators. The hyena men, as they're known, were born into a family tradition that has been passed down through generations. This Ethiopian family has been feeding wild hyenas for nearly 60 years. They're now attracting guests from all over the world. Despite their proclivity for eating human remains, hyenas are wary of humans and just as dangerous as the big cats whose habitat overlaps with theirs. Women, children, and elderly men are more likely to be attacked by hyenas than other predators, but both species can and do attack healthy adult males. Although the hyenas in this video look to be nice because they are being fed, I must stress that sitting among these powerful monsters and feeding them as if they were stray cats requires a great deal of courage. The hyenas approach the guy with caution, displaying no signs of hostility as they vie for a piece of the buffet. They're probably bewildered as to why these gentlemen are so nice to them. Kevin Richardson, an animal behaviorist, has earned his position in a hyena tribe after more than 15 years of studying and engaging with them in his video. Despite the hazards, he roughhouses the wild pets and even tickles these unpredictable predators. He feels that hyenas are the most misunderstood of all natural species. They're intelligent, they have a well-developed social system, and their well-known chuckle isn't a laugh. It's a highly developed way of communicating whether they're frustrated or happy. That's good to know. Number 10. Tiger. This man seems to love being around his big cats, because that's basically what he does all day. You can see him in this video fussing around with a young leopard. The leopard climbs on his back and playfully nibbles on his head. A large tiger joins the fun and shows a lot of affection towards the man. Now, he's hanging out with a bunch of lions, and you can see the leopard in the background come running to join the fun. But the tiger tries to stop him on the way there and kindly tackles him. The leopard rolls over and is looking for a little affection from his handler. In this video, the man bottle feeds this baby tiger, and I guess that's why all these big cats love him so much. He raises them from an early age, but I think it's still a big risk being around wild animals like that. I guess he knows what he's doing. In this video, you can see Loka, a very handsome royal white Bengal tiger. He loves to go for walks with his handlers, and most of all, enjoys taking a dip in the pool. Finally, this woman plays with her kitty cat just like we do, except this feline is slightly bigger than our cats. I guess everyone has their preference. Number 9. Elephants. Some individuals prefer tigers and cheetahs as pets, while others prefer elephants such as Moyo, a 14-month-old elephant calf. Moyo shares a home with a host of other animals and has unique privileges such as sleeping on the couch. Moyo even gets to go about the home and inspect everything until he decides to urinate on the floor. Because he almost drowned before being saved, he has a phobia of water. Thus, his handler puts him into the water to help him overcome this anxiety. So Moyo decided to do some banking and blew up a bag of flour, scattering it all over the room. Now that Moyo has grown, he just slips his trunk through the window to steal food. What a thorn in the side this elephant is. What if your best friend weighed 10,000 pounds and could break a watermelon in one step? Lauren Murray, a 33-year-old Florida acrobat and animal handler, grew up in a circus and now spends her days caring for Lady Essex, a large Asian elephant. According to Lauren, the two are as close as a human and an elephant can be. Lady Essex, surprisingly, enjoys playing catch with Lauren's dogs and even her 3-year-old son, who helps her bathe. I only hope the elephant doesn't accidentally step on her son. Number 8. Giant Pitbull Hulk. Meet King Kong, a 150-pound puppy who, according to legend, will outgrow even his supersized pitbull father, the Hulk. The massive baby, who is a little over a year old, is swiftly approaching his world-famous 175-pound father, with plenty of room to grow. Kong has already garnered a sizable social media following, with fans pulled in by his imposing stature and cheeky grin. His father, Hulk, is a world-famous 175-pound pitbull. He is the world's largest pitbull, at least until his offspring outgrows him. Marlon and Lisa Grennan of New Hampshire own Hulk, who has said to have been the ideal babysitter for their new son, Jackson. Jackson has been treated by Hulk as if he were his own child. He understands that he is small and vulnerable, and he must treat him with care. Lisa claims she's not concerned with Hulk's presence around Jackson. Look at how big that head is. Hulk weighs 24 times as much as Jackson, but his father, Marlon, is confident that his training is sound and that Hulk will never harm him. Hulk fathered 8 lovely puppies, which sold for $55,000 apiece due to his celebrity. Number 7. Hippo. During the African floods of 2000, Tony and Shirley rescued Jessica. They tried to wake up the hippo calf, but it was tired and feeble. The calf lacked vitality. Tony lifted her up when she realized she needed assistance and noticed she was just a few hours old. The umbilical cord was still linked to her. It had to have been a nightmare for the young calf. It was in desperate need of milk, and because she was so little, they couldn't give her regular milk. Tony had a formula to replace colostrum thanks to his experience and understanding as a game ranger. They named her Jessica, and she was properly weighed and measured. It was the tiniest hippo they'd ever seen, weighing only 35 pounds and standing only 1 foot tall at the shoulder. She had not been harmed in any way. She had to drink 10% of her body weight in milk in a 24-hour period. She took the teat of the bottle greedily, since she was poorly malnourished and weak, and she discovered, much to their amazement, how tasty the milk formula was, and she couldn't get enough of it. Jessica and the dogs, Zaza the Rottweiler and Bull Terriers, became friends quickly. They were always together and paid close attention to anything strange. Jessica grew in leaps and bounds and never got sick. She too increased in strength. She attracted a lot of happiness by attracting her friends, the dogs, and she received a lot of love and affection from them all. What a great... Number 6. Cougar. Meet Messi, a lively 2-year-old cougar that lives with a brave couple. In 2016, they adopted a young cougar named Messi and kept him as a house pet in their modest Moscow studio apartment. To avoid making a mess around the house, Messi has a strict grooming regimen. He is bathed in the tub, his nails cut, his teeth checked, and he gets a special brush down every day. The massive cat eats turkey, steak, a tiny amount of chicken breast, and some bones twice a day. With a social media following of $250,000 on Instagram and over 2 million views on YouTube, Messi has become a local celebrity. This man has also adopted a cougar in this video, and you can see how they both snuggle up on the couch. I must say that I would love to have a large cat like that on my laps, but I'm scared it would rip my head off. Mario is an animal enthusiast and the proud owner of a one-of-a-kind cat. Mario has been raising Sasha, a 210-pound mountain lion, since she was a baby, and she is the love of his life. Most women would be horrified to find their spouse sleeping with a cougar. But if you're married to Mario, you have little choice but to love his other girlfriend, mountain lion Sasha. Mario adopted the fearsome creature when she was a kitten, and she now refers to him as his father. Despite Sasha's capacity to rip his face off, he lets her sit on his lap while he watches TV and eats dinner. He and his wife Lenore decided against having children of their own, and instead chose to raise Sasha as their own, spending thousands of dollars on her upbringing. Number 5. Black Jaguar. This is the same guy that lives with all the felines we saw earlier, but he didn't show us this gorgeous black jaguar. What a beautiful animal. I always had a weakness for black cats. You can see how friendly the cat is with his man, just like all the other cats at the sanctuary. Look at the way he holds onto the man's arm with his paws and retractable claws. These two just love each other, and there are lots of kisses and hugs exchanged between the two. What amazes me about this place is that many of these cats would attack each other in the wild, but here they all get along, and they all show some type of affection towards this man. It just amazes me. Number 4. Alligator. Meet Wally, a nationally licensed emotional support alligator that is 5 feet tall and weighs 60 pounds. Joey Henney of Pennsylvania owns a residence with a variety of reptiles, including bearded dragons and ball pythons. The 4-year-old Wally, who has a particular place in Joey's heart, is the reptile who steals the show. He's not your normal alligator. He enjoys snuggling and kissing. Wally is routinely brought out for walks to the park, malls, and even restaurants, in addition to having full access to the house. In this next video, rather than wearing high heels and attending fancy networking events, a corporate high flyer now spends her days teaching gigantic alligators and handling some of America's deadliest snakes. Shannon Sarge, 42, spent years working in the executive world as a part of an HR firm, where she dealt with 700 people on a regular basis. She now spends her days at Alligator Country, a reptile park and rescue facility in Texas, with her own 11-foot, 550-pound alligator named Mr. Cuddles, training, feeding, and even kissing the beast. Shannon works alongside her husband, Gary Sorge, who founded the park in 2005 and is the state of Texas's primary nuisance alligator hunter. Finally, for most people, the idea of being near an alligator is intimidating. Yet this lady dresses her pet alligator in the tutu and even gives him manicures. Lilligator, a 4.5 pound-foot reptile, is known for donning a tiara, pink skirts, and even having her nails painted. Angela Lance purchased Lily when she was just 2.5 days old, as a tiny hatchling. To be honest, I think this was a touch excessive. Number 3. Bear. Many parents find it difficult to keep their kids in line at home. However, keep Jim and Susan Kowalczyk in mind, as their main charge is a gigantic 1,400-pound Kodiak brown bear. The 9-foot-tall beast is cared for by the pair at their orphanage, where they have dedicated their life to rescuing and releasing injured animals. They now have 11 bears on their 100-acre estate in Otisville, New York, including Kodiak brown bears, Syrian bears, and black bears. The majority came from abandoned breeding facilities or natural reserves as cubs. In this video, a man in Finland keeps a few bears and looks after them as if they were his children. As you can see in this video, he feeds, plays with, and even bathes them. Look at this man who is lying on the floor with a giant bear. The bear even cuddles up to the man and licks his hand while holding him with his paws. Those claws are massive. Finally, a brave mother and son duo have raised 14 bears in their back garden. Monica Weld and her son Johnny IV spend their days rolling around with bears weighing up to 1,000 pounds. The Weld family has been caring for grizzly bears, black bears, and polar bears for 91 years, using their license to aid others in need. However, Monica's husband, Johnny III, died of a heart attack last year, just shy of 60 years old, putting the family tradition in peril. Monica has put her grief aside thanks to her son's help, so she can focus on the family's heritage and continue caring for their beloved pet bears. Number 2. Python. Sambath, a 7-year-old Cambodian kid, rubs and kisses his Burmese python. Kamrun is a python that is 18 feet long and weighs over 220 pounds. Sambath's mother believes that the lizard provides the family good luck and is unconcerned about her son's affinity to it. Because of their unique friendship, visitors from other towns flock to see the boy play with his pet. The 7-year-old boy rides, wrestles, and even sleeps with the snake that can suffocate a man. He likes to pet and kiss the snake. As the family sits down to eat, the python slithers around the room's perimeter. Huge pythons have been known to consume their owners, while thriving on a weekly diet of 4 chickens. Since the snake entered their home, Sambath believed that they have been safe. Sambath's mother washes the python, which was just the size of a thumb when it first entered the family home. I pray the snake never tries to eat the youngster in the middle of the night while everyone is sleeping. Number 1. Lion. Look how this woman caresses this lion. When the lion encounters a home guest though, it decides to play with him. But a lion does not play like a cat. Look at the bites and scratches on the man's skin. I believe that having such creatures and putting guests in danger is irresponsible and harmful. If you're going to endanger your life, don't put other people's lives in jeopardy. An adult African Maasai lion has been welcomed into the home of 2 animal-loving brothers. Hamza and Hassan Hussein of Karachi, Pakistan, have been raising the beast since he was 2 weeks old. His brothers affectionately dubbed him Simba after Disney's famous animated picture The Lion King, when his mother stopped feeding him. The 26-month-old lion has developed a strong bond with the brothers, and he's usually seen accompanying them on excursions, and even traveling around Karachi in their car. Kevin Richardson, the lion whisperer, is hanging out with these male lions. They appear to adore him. This guy is a pair of kahunas so massive that I can't even imagine how enormous they are. The Iron Throne Predator and Wildlife Park in South Africa is known by Armand Gerber, 51, and his wife Beatrice. Armand provides food for the lion brothers Rufus and Brutus, who together weigh 550 pounds. He saved most of his animals from places with a bad reputation, and his greatest aim is to find them a permanent home. It's all fun and games to watch these people take care of these amazing animals, and in many cases, it's a necessity. But in my opinion, some of these people are playing with fire. My favorite has to be that black jaguar. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below? Well, that's our countdown of 15 scary wild animals bonding with their owners. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.